We were joking before about the shopping network. We're not going to make a shopping
Yes,
network
and
thing.
now, for 15 seconds, you can buy this 5% off.
Ooh.
And you'll get a free polishing cloth.
Yeah. That's it. Is it labeled? Is it like a branded polishing cloth?
Oh, yeah.
It is?
Absolutely.
I'm interested.
Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Y'all are brewheads? Yeah, we brewheads. So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C-Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 114 of Beer Now the Shit podcast. We are coming to you live from Montreal on a rainy fall evening. To my right, you might know her. If you're listening to it, you probably won't. But if you're watching it, you might be familiar with Hilary from all over social media. These wonderful necklaces that we espouse passionately in all of our content. She's responsible for them. Hilary Pennie of Pretty Pennie Jewellery. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Oh, thank you for having me here. I'm stoked to be in my
About time, man. I know, right? Welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's been a long time. We've been trying to do this for
AJ.
like a year or something, maybe.
Yeah.
I know we talked about it. When did we meet up at Toronto? When was that? It was cold, I think.
It's probably a year ago.
Was it
No,
really?
was it? Yeah.
Was it either early this year or late last year?
Yeah.
Oh, we did the giveaway. Wasn't it the Christmas giveaway?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was about a year ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
God damn it. That flew by.
I know, right?
So we've been talking about it since then. You're based in Cambridge, Ontario.
You got it. Yep.
Which is an hour west. Hour?
Southwest. Yeah.
Southwest
Yeah.
of Toronto.
You got it.
So we've been wanting to go out there because you guys have a bunch of fire breweries.
We do. Yes.
And speaking of that, Hilary blessed us with a bounty of beer from Barncat, Artisan Ales out of Cambridge. I've heard so much about these guys. I only had one of their beers, which was the Triple Simcoe that we traded earlier this year.
Deliciousness.
It was amazing, and this is still thanks to Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. You're amazing.
And
We
Jeremy,
definitely-
but Matt
and
was the
Jeremy.
one that
Matt was one.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. I would love to get you guys on the podcast too. We just got to get out to Cambridge, really. So we'll start and crack the beer because we have a lot of work to do, clearly.
I'm down. I'm
And
ready.
then we're going to get down into it. So we're going to start to camera left here. This is called Larry. Great name. I like Larry. It's a funny name.
Yeah.
7% IPA. We were talking about it earlier. I have heard... Is this going to explode? I don't think it does, right?
I think we're good.
Are we good?
Yeah.
I don't really do growlers too much. You a growler person?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I collect the growlers.
Oh, yeah?
The large ones. Yeah, absolutely. Keepsake. From far and away breweries.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know how much to do. Is that enough? Oh my god,
looks
look at
good.
that haze.
I love the haze. I love
No,
the
right?
haze.
Isn't that the best?
This is going to be epic.
Oof, I
You're
can't
going to smell
honestly-
it and you're going to know right away it's a Barncat.
Yeah?
Yep.
I can't wait. I've been waiting for this for so long.
Can I get in there?
Yeah, no, I'll wait the photo. You're like, can I get the beer? Tiff, do you want any or are you good? For now.
Oh,
You got
see?
anything? Oh.
Yep.
Okay, so what about that scent is uniquely Barncat?
I don't know. There's a citrus. Oh, I can't even...
You can't even really
There's
explain it?
nothing like it.
I guess I'm going to have
It's
to...
You're going to taste it and you're going to know it's a Barncat.
Okay. Oh, let's see the photo. Oops, I had the flash on from earlier. We were just at L'Espace Public. Shouts to Simo and Overhop. Here we go. Gorgeous. So I guess this is my second one, but I feel like the first one, because it was a 10%, like triple IPA, is a little intense.
Right.
So.
Yeah. This one's definitely smoother. The haze, you're gonna love this.
Glorious.
Isn't it
Wow.
amazing?
Oh my gosh. So it's
And
Tiffany
it's
shot.
tropical on the finish,
Yeah.
right?
Smooth. This is still kind of like you said, much more. Well, triple IPA is not supposed to be balanced by any means. It's supposed to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
This is just so drinkable. Oh my gosh! All right. I was telling you earlier. Shout out to Sid, my boy out there in Guelph, and he was telling me that he believes that Barncat is better than Bellwoods as far as Haze, and everyone knows who listens to the podcast that I am a Bellwoods fanboy. Everyone knows. So I've been very much looking forward to this, and I can see what he's talking about. This is just exceptional. Super, yeah, I can go on all night. So we don't have a bunch to talk about.
Sure, I'm here to chat.
I'm here. Well,
let's
we got
do
a bit of
this.
work to do. So let's get started on how you particularly got into craft beer.
Craft beer.
Just how you got into it in general. then we can,
Yeah. I was actually coming from the wine industry.
Oh, yeah?
Ironically enough.
What did you do there?
Well, no, I worked for the keg, so I had to have a lot of wine knowledge. And a good friend of mine was a beer rep for BAOS, and he got me into the lug tread. That was like my gateway craft beer. Because I grew up in the area where you had your dad's Labatt 50 or you're Canadian, and
Right.
that's what you thought beer was, and it was awful, and so you didn't drink it, right?
Of course.
But he turned me on to the lug tread, and they were hiring a beer rep, and he said, "You should apply." And I'm like, "I'd be down for this."
And when was this?
This is going back about 5 years ago now.
Okay, so it'd be 2013-ish.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And BAOS kind of took a leap in faith in me because I didn't have a lot of beer knowledge at the time, but I had extensive knowledge in service industry, and
And you knew how it worked, so you were able to...
yeah,
Go.
and so I immersed myself in craft beer, and that was it. It just snowballed.
worked.
They took me on, and I covered Southwest Ontario, learned a lot about brewing and all the different varieties of beer, and yeah,
Right. Went from there.
2.5 years with BAOS as a rep.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then the last 2.5 years
Yeah.
were... So you left the beer industry then.
Yep, yep.
Thought real quick, what was the first beer that you had that really you were like, ooh, what's this craft beer about?
Well, Lug Tread was the entry.
Was the actual one?
That was the one that kind of.
That's what I
drew me in.
assumed, but I just
yeah,
wanted to see.
yeah.
Okay.
But there were many, many beers to follow that
As it should be, yes.
blew my mind from. Yeah, absolutely.
This is so good.
Right?
Like, this is so good.
Tiff needs to try
She's
it.
like, all right.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is gonna be a problem tonight.
And it's all your fault, Matt.
Ooh, okay, amazing. So then, so you work for BAOS as a sales rep
Yep.
out that general region, the southwest of Toronto-ish?
a huge area. Yeah.
Yep.
Kincardine to Windsor.
Okay.
And
All the way down
everything
to Windsor.
between-
Oh
all the way
gosh.
to Windsor.
Jeez.
Every little small town in between. So, yeah, a lot of.
You're welcome. Tiff has to get in there. Okay, so that's a lot of work, and then that helped you sort of learn about, how the industry goes and sort of the politics of it, and like.
Yeah, and I mean, I learned, I grew a passion for the beer because you learn from the process and you talk to the brewers and you see how, I didn't realize how complex craft beer was, or beer in general.
Right.
You know, the wine industry, you knew how complex wine was and growing grapes, and before that I didn't know that growing hops was complex, and, creating a beer was complex, and that science was involved, and so that kind of added to the passion, was that it wasn't just throwing a bunch of stuff in a bin and making beer. It was-
Right.
Yeah.
It was actually like,
Yeah.
it was, way more.
Yeah, it was guys in their garage that grew a business, and then they went from their garage to a proper business and a storefront, and those stories is what got me passionate about craft beer as well.
Right.
Yeah,
That's so sick. I love that. So once you, I guess that sort of sparked a love of beer that clearly hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then after you left that industry, where did you sort of go from there? Or from the sales rep, did you stay in beer, or did you sort of?
I had a babe. I had a baby.
Yes.
Yeah, second. And
Second
then
one?
it was on my mat leave. I was kind of bored, and the hubby was like, "Hey, I built you a studio because I had done jewelry. I went to school for jewelry. You never make jewelry anymore." And I was like, "Okay, I'm just going to go to the studio and make something." And I was like, "What am I going to make? Something craft beer. I'm going to make a hop."
Right.
Like, I've never seen a hop.
And that was just because you just
For me, it was
freshly
for
come
me.
out of
Yeah, I
the
came
beer
out of-
world, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I
Makes
mean,
sense.
women in beer. I mean, when I started at BAOS, there weren't a lot of women in beer. I would go into a place and they're like, "You're the beer rep?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why a woman can't be a beer rep?"
No
And you would
question.
get, and that was only
Damn.
4 or 5 years ago. Since then, lots of women are brewing beer and
Yeah.
selling beer and blogging about beer. But back then, you could think,
Different
like in
world,
5
eh?
years, lots changed.
Wow.
Yeah. So I made the beer hop, and people that I had worked with were like, "Whoa, that's so
What was that?
cool!" And I'm like, "Oh, do you
Was
want
it this one? Or was it a
that,
prototype
it was
of
silver,
this?
so it was that particular hop. But I first
Exactly
made
like
it
this?
exactly like that.
Oh, wow. So you're like the first one you did, and you just... That's sick. All right.
yeah. So I hand carved it out of jeweler's wax. I made it for myself, and then I was like, "Whoa, there's people that want this." So I molded it, and I'm like, "Maybe
Right.
there's other people that want it." And lo and
There we
behold,
go.
there are.
There
Yeah,
certainly are.
yeah.
How many times did people say nice pine cone?
They are still saying
nice pine cone.
I've had
great pine cone.
artichoke. I've had,
Oh, artichoke's a good one.
an acorn, which it doesn't really look
Yeah,
like.
there's nothing that acorny about it.
Why would you wear an artichoke around here? You just
I can see artichoke for
I can
sure.
see artichoke. Acorn, no.
Acorn?
Pine cone, no.
I mean, sort of. That's the one I hear the most. I
Yeah.
feel like pine cone's a stretch. But
Oh,
that's
you get
the-
pine cone.
I get pine cone.
Okay.
I
And
feel
you're
like-
in the industry. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I feel like I'm around. It's from clearly non-beer people
Okay.
that would say that,
Yeah,
and I more often than not these days I'm around beer people a lot, I
Right.
guess. So I don't get it as much, but when I have got it, I'm always like, it makes me laugh so much. It's cute.
You know, it's crazy. I'll sell at a market where you expect a pine cone, but I'll sell at a beer festival and still get pine cone. And I'm like, look around.
Really?
Like,
Guys.
and I feel like even if you're not in beer, so many people are using the hop as a logo or as branding that people are starting to know what a hop would look like, even if you haven't grown it or have never actually seen the plant.
Yeah.
So
That's a good point. I feel like people are visiting breweries, and a lot of the time they'll have, like, say, a BAOS. Like, they've got, I mean, I know that's kind of exceptional because it's out of the way and you're not just popping into BAOS, but they've got the hop. Even just some city breweries usually have, like, hops around.
Right, exactly.
Whether visually represented or on a vine somewhere and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, people are more and more. Have you tried it yet?
It's delicious.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's delicious.
It gets better as you drink it. I just keep.
it is.
No, it's good. It's very good.
It's got that.
Oh,
Sorry, I
that
keep
aroma.
going,
The aroma, you're going to
That's what it is?
by the next one, you're going to be like, that's a Barncat.
Okay.
I hear
So-
it's the yeast.
You hear it's the yeast? I like that. That's a good name for the episode. I hear it's the yeast.
Ooh, I'll write that down.
Because it's completely almost
This is
irrelevant.
114, right?
We always try. Yeah, 114. We always try. This is a joint note. We always try whenever we have an episode. If someone says something like funny like that, we're like, "Oh, episode
I
name."
hear it's the yeast.
Because otherwise, I got to figure it out later, and it's like a whole thing. It's like you listen to this 2-hour episode and be like, "What the fuck are we gonna call this?"
Right.
You know, it's good times.
Nice. I like
To
it.
hear.
Marketing. This nose though, there's something like about that. I've smelled something. This is like it's like a twist on something I've smelled before.
Oh, I want to know what it
Yeah.
is. It?
It's like this. It's like a creamy dankness.
Cream.
It's cream for sure. This is one of the smoothest IPAs I've ever had in my entire life. Like because I know we have to do that. I just want to drink the rest of this right now. But okay, so you made the one hop for yourself,
Yep.
and people were saying like that's fire. So you're like,
Oh.
and this was That's still the 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, almost 3 years ago. Yeah.
Almost right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you made that, and then you decided like you made the mold.
I made the mold, and then I decided I need a small hop. Like I was like, I need earrings, so I carved the wee hop for the studs,
Okay.
and they snowballed. People started asking, and I'm like,
And you set up an online store, came up with the name and the
set up an
branding.
Etsy, yeah, all that stuff, and then I was starting to get back to like, oh, like my mat leave is almost up, and BAOS is ready for me to come back, but.
Like I don't know if I want.
And I love BAOS. I love working for them. But if anybody is a beer rep, you know it's long hours. You're on the road a lot, and work-life balance is really hard. And I had one child already, and I had another one on the way, and I was like, eh. And so I decided to stay home and chance it, and leap of faith, and bring two of my passions: so making jewelry and bringing beer together, craft beer. So
yes.
the Pretty Hoppy line was kind of born then.
Right, and that's what it's called. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Pretty happy. Nice.
Yeah.
I should know that, actually. Yeah.
You should know that.
I really should know that.
Pretty Pennie.
No, but there's the
Pennie's the
lines of
company.
thingo.
But the line is Pretty Hoppy.
That's fair. How bad?
Like heavy on the hops or lightly hopped.
I knew that was called, and the half one. I knew the light
I know
on
my
that
line's
Tiff
like
has.
hopped, and the other I'm heavy on hops too.
What's the we're gonna get into the products before. Did
Yeah.
everything have a name?
Yeah.
Everything? Okay, we'll go through bit by bit.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be we were joking before about the shopping network. We're not gonna make a shopping
Yes,
network
and
thing.
now, for 15 seconds, you can buy this 5% off. And you'll get a free polishing cloth.
Yeah. That's it. Is it labeled? Is it like a branded polishing cloth?
Oh, yeah.
It is?
Absolutely.
I'm interested.
My daughter was sewing them last night.
she's 8. She's getting really dexterous now.
Put them to work. Put them to work.
Do they work? Do the kids work? Does Scarlett work?
No, not yet.
Yes. No. I just
Maybe in packaging.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Hey, you got. My parents bought a toy shop when I was 8.
And you were...
I was working in the shop. Dead ass. I'm not joking. Like they used to have catalogs, and they have to stay after hours and put the price.
Oh,
the new
I thought
price
like you were
tags.
like an elf making toys.
Oh god, no! A toy store, so we call it a shop. That would make sense when you say shop. You're like,
You say shop, yeah. It's
what are you making there? Like wooden rocking horses and shit.
There's Craig
Like
with
a-
his hammer and stuff.
Like a
Keep a
toy.
rubber hammer in his little elbow.
Hey, I would have been doing that. That would have been actually way more fun than retail. It was like a small, it's called Toy World, like a small
Toys
retail
R Us.
store. Like a Toys R Us.
Okay,
Toys R Us
okay.
came to Australia and ruined my parents' business. So fuck them for life. I hate them because they do. But like,
Beep, beep.
oh no, it's a podcast. We'll be another shit. We can swear. But the like the things you learn as a child working in a business, like I learned so much about marketing, merchandising, sales, like
Like they
what-
give you life skills.
completely
Amazing.
customer service.
Yeah.
Like maybe it wasn't 8 talking to customers, but as I got older, like they had it until I was like 20 or something.
And you heard it. You were there, you heard it.
All the time seeing them, the way mum and dad talking about what they're going to do. They ended up having like 5 stores at one point and had a partner and stuff, and they had all this stuff. It was crazy. It was
That's cool.
It was pretty cool when we were kids because you got
every toy.
Everything, and they went to the toy fairs, which I guess are the conferences, and then they got all that shit early.
Right.
So we got that stuff early. People always invited us to the birthday parties because we gave the fire gifts. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Laced them with that. It was lit. So anyway, I'm all for... I don't look at it as child labor. It's real life education.
Absolutely. Okay.
It's the same positioning. It's all
remember
about positioning. All right? You tell Scarlett if she gets mad at you, just blame Uncle Craig. All right? So, made the lines.
Yeah.
How quickly did it pick up? Like, I mean, how did that sort of go from, the maternity leave? How long was maternity leave?
A year.
Oh, you had a full year? Canada.
Yeah.
Looking after people.
Heck yeah, that's the way it should be.
Right, in the
Mamas
States,
need
like
to be home with their
6
babies.
weeks. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So,
All of
so
our
it's
American
perfect.
listeners are like, 1 year?
Yeah, Americans, like, yeah. It's unfortunate. You guys should get a year, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So how long did it take from that moment of going in and making, after you've made the mold and realizing that people are into it and releasing your business to coming to the end? I guess it would have been throughout that full year that you were like, I can do this. Or did it happen before the end of it? Before the end
No,
of
it
your
was
time?
quite close to the end of my mat leave that I was going to take the jump because I started, and it happened right at Christmas time, which was, that's when people are shopping. So I'm like, okay, I'm having all these sales, and I'm going to take this leap of faith and do this business.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen right away, and it's scary because my husband's also an artist, so it's like two starving artists. But yeah, it's been almost 3 years, and it's slowly picking up and taking momentum, and I'm able to pay some bills and
nice.
keep afloat and do what I love. That's what's most important is that I go to work, which is at home, and I love what I do.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I think it's super dope that you did do that because Tiff and I, we talk about it on the podcast a bunch because we're into it. We have our own business as well. And like we started about 3 and a bit years ago as well.
Yeah.
So about the same time. And it was the greatest thing we ever did. And it's so rewarding and so like that, like you're saying, like to be able to live your part, do what you want on your own schedule, on your own time. As well, it's even cooler that you've been able to incorporate your skill set and your passion.
Right.
Which is like sick. It's just such a rare thing to be able to do that, particularly with children. That's the main thing as well. That like
it's hard.
It can't be easy.
It's not easy,
and it shows people that like you're an example. It can be done.
Absolutely.
Like a lot of people have kids, and they just. I feel like it happens a lot. People just feel like they can't take any risk, or they just kind of like give up on themselves and become the parent.
They feel like their dreams are dreams, and you can't live those dreams.
Yeah.
And because I'm a parent, and it's like no, you can. You just have to put in the extra time. You may get a
Big
few.
facts.
You may get a few minutes less of sleep, and you might be a zombie mom, or you might need a few extra coffees. But hey,
but it works.
Yeah, it pays off in the end. Absolutely.
Was that much? I assume that was a big thought for you. Like
There's a lot of doubts, and also the fact that your family's depending on you.
Yeah, true.
For house and food and clothes and the extras like you said,
pressure.
toys.
Yeah,
they need to have those toys.
They sure do,
and that costs money, right?
Yeah.
So and you want to give your kids everything that they deserve,
Yeah.
So those are all doubts and fears that you have going into business on your own, but I believe truly wholeheartedly if you are passionate about it, it's going to come through in the end.
Big facts.
100%. Go for it. Don't chase those dreams. They're not dreams. You can do it.
I love that.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's really important because I feel like I see it a lot and I pay attention. Do you feel you pay attention to that type of stuff? Like people use I feel like people use. To not talk about this often, they use self-defeating words a lot. Mm-hmm. I know this is going off from craft beer, but this is about business, goddammit. Yeah. And I feel like people almost use things that my number one pet peeve when people say once in a lifetime. I hate that so much because it's sort of like once in a lifetime trip and they'll go to New York or something. I'm like, dude, it's like $200. Stop
also,
it.
Nothing's ever once.
Some things are, but most things aren't, and people use it in things that are most certainly not once in a lifetime. Right. I feel like they take that self-defeating thing, being like, oh, I can't do that trip, or like, no, I'm never going to be able to afford that. I've heard that so much. So to be able to see a parent, someone who I don't see this at all.
Because kids are a big excuse, that's why.
Kids are a big excuse, yeah.
And when you don't have kids, you can see, but when you have, it is hard. It's difficult, but it can be done. You just have to put your mind to it, and you have to say, you know what? my needs and wants are just as important as my kids. Because if I can't succeed, what am I teaching them? Right? That's a huge life lesson for my kids.
Yeah.
Like if my mom can do it, I can do it too. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Do they understand? Like, I mean, because Scarlett's 8.
Yeah.
So she, how old's your son?
Almost 3.
What's his name?
Levi.
Okay, I like that name. So that, I guess he's a little young still, but does she? I mean, I met Scarlett and we went and got candy at BAOS Oktoberfest.
Yeah,
I'm not really like around kids much, but she was like mad cool and just kept talking. I was like, all right, this is easy.
Yeah.
The kids, she was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed conversating. Like
she's an extrovert, that one. Yeah, absolutely.
But like she's intelligent. Like it was cool. You could have just a nice conversation. I'm just so not used to it because when just us in Montreal, I don't really know that many children.
Right.
But like, she's aware that like mum and dad are artists, and she knows that this is what you do that buys her stuff and that.
Yeah.
And does she have any thoughts, or does she say anything, or do you think that she appreciates and thinks it's cool, or is it kind of like it's just what she does?
She knows, but like she tells people what we do, and like it's cool because we're both artists, and you always wonder like what's learned or what's sent on from genes, right? So I truly see that she's an artist, and she's like always like, I'm going to be a fashion designer. I'm like, you go do it. Like, my mom sent her in a sewing machine. I'm like, 8-year-old, go. Like, make whatever you want, because, you know, she sees mom can make jewelry, dad can do tattoos. Like, anything can be done to make a living. Especially arts. Like, do it. If you have it, use those abilities to... Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. Like, turning... and that's the hardest thing as well, is reading, like, something... a book about it, actually, like, turning art into commerce. And the challenges that come with that, like, you know, whether you end up having to sell out and make things that you don't want to make, like, you know, I'm like a musician, so what, do I have to go do a pop song or something to make it? Like, now you don't have to, because it's you have to change exactly and who you are. But I don't think it's always about who you are, but it's about what you do. So it's like, I don't know what the equivalent would be for you, but say like a musician who does whatever, like we do, like soulful hip hop, and then they go, okay, go make a Black Eyed Peas style pop song.
Right.
I don't want to do that. But they go, but you kind of have to pay the bills. Like,
right. So maybe me like outsourcing to like a factory to produce a lot of it to sell it cheaper.
Right.
Maybe that's how it would be.
That would be the closest thing, and that is something, of course, like everything you see, you made.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. So anything 3D was hand carved out of jeweler's wax, hand molded. It's cast, so that obviously is a procedure that a machine does.
Gotcha.
But then it's totally unfinished, sent back, and then myself, and then I also have a metalsmith who hired, hand finish everything.
Right.
So yes, I would say it's handmade for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Which is like, so like that's essentially, we'll talk about this just earlier, that essentially that equates what you do. You are the brewer of the operation, because the brewer is the one who uses their hands, and they put the grain in the mash, and they put they add everything in themselves, and they make this thing.
Right.
Where you do that, and that's the key thing of your business.
And the end result is the jewelry, and that's what makes my signature. Yeah, like I love that parallel. Like it's like
it makes sense though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it's like we were just talking before about like when you are selling the stuff, and how would you scale a business like this? But the thing is, when it's when you, I guess, you do a lot of pop-ups. You're here in Montreal because you have a pop-up tomorrow. There's probably no promote this because this is going to come out.
It was great.
It was amazing. and then the one on Saturday in Ottawa, out of control. But your face, like you are the person behind it.
Yeah.
You make it. You are the one whose hands did it, whether it's from a mold or whatever. But you did that.
Right.
So like people would appreciate, just like they appreciate having a beer with the brewer, and that means a lot to people if they get to have a chat with the individual who made the beer. It's the same thing with you. I would assume that people were like, "Oh, you made this?"
Yeah.
Does that comment comes up?
It does, and I love when, because some people just walk by and they might look at the ticket price and walk away, and I'm like, "Come, talk to me about how it's made. Learn about the process, because it's not something that I haven't purchased. Like I didn't purchase this from an online shop and chuck it on the chain, right? My hands,
like carve that, and it's the same one over and over. But that's the point. That's the consistency of it. But this is we'll get to the product shortly. I mean, for the podcast, we'll describe it, but. They're all very different. Even just looking at this in my hand and looking at the multiple examples you've got there, it's like
so
the
every
same
finish
thing,
took
finish.
A different
material, different finish, different process. I assume as well.
Exactly.
This is the antiqued one that I'm wearing, antique brass. Is that right?
Oh, good job.
You see that
There
shit?
you go.
Hey, I got one thing. I need to make up for
For
the
not knowing the whole line.
line. I forgot what it's called already. Hoppy line?
Pretty hoppy.
Pretty hoppy.
Pretty hoppy.
Pretty Pennie, pretty hoppy. Play out of words.
Yes. It's,
Come on.
Come on, guy. I'm sorry. I'm out of control.
Take a lot of
You need
good
another
shit.
beer.
Yes. All right. 2.5 years, nearly 3 years in, and now you have multiple lines. You don't only have the pretty hoppy line,
Yeah.
but there are multiple lines of products. So look, maybe
Yeah.
we should talk about the product then. I'll just go through the ones that the type of stuff that you're making and sort of where the inspiration comes from, and we can just describe it for the podcast.
And we're not going to do shopping.
We won't do too much shopping channel. We're going to have some B-roll from the Full Origins
Amazing.
set up tomorrow as
Yeah.
well, so people can see what it looks like, all that there. But we have
Yeah.
some stuff that you brought up here
Yeah.
now. So let's start with maybe start with the necklaces, because that's where it all began.
Yeah, well, the one you're wearing. So
Yes.
that's the
Antique to brass.
antique brass. The original actually was the silver, which is the same actual hop. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Same heart. This one Tiff has as well.
comes in different chains. So this was more of a masculine style chain.
Oh,
a
okay. One of
bead
those
tube.
joints. Okay.
Yeah, see?
Okay. What do you call these ones? Ever name?
Bead and tube chain.
Bean and tube.
Bead.
Oh,
Bead.
bead and tube when you
Bead.
click them in.
Yeah, kind of like
Okay.
or tub chain.
Okay.
Kind of looks like, and that's the thing. I originally made them for females because I was wanting
yourself,
to celebrate myself, and then I finally wanted to celebrate women in beer.
Right.
But then I realized I'm like, there's a lot of men in beer, and I would think there's men in beer that want to wear jewelry,
Yeah.
or would hope so. So
Clearly.
you are a fine gentleman that would like to wear.
Oh, I honestly wear this every day. How many times I've broken this chain and had to be like, Hilary? I think like twice, 2 or 3 times.
Don't worry, I brought a few extras.
Did you really? Oh my
The
god.
freaking jacket, your freaking jacket.
My
It
denim
shouldn't
jacket.
happen- It shouldn't happen.
Do you know, I didn't do it. Was it the Twilight? I did it once in Dallas when we went to South by, and I caught
did
it on
on
my
the-
denim jacket, and I did it in Colorado, like on
And-
the day before GABF, and I was messaging you
And-
stressed as fuck. And, like,
Oh,
mad.
yeah, you pinned
I was
it.
like,
Safety
fuck.
pin. Can I get a safety pin? And I'm like, where's the brake? It's not in the front. Like, don't put the safety
It
pin.
was like here
You
type
should
of
have
thing.
seen him
I
in
was
the hotel room. He's like,
out of-
fuck, it's all ruined. Everything's ruined now.
It's the biggest beer festival in the world.
And I don't have
I'm
my
like-
necklace.
I feel naked without this necklace, and I know people say that all the time. Like, there's
So you're not just wearing that to be like, you actually like.
you
dig
don't
it.
understand. Like, I love it so much, and it's like become a part of like we just dress like all of us, like Scott and I and Tiff as well.
Yeah.
We
It's-
all wear it all the time. I don't leave the house without it, type of thing. So when it breaks, it's only happened like I said 2 or 3 times. But
Be careful.
yeah, I'm gonna be much more careful. And now I'm very.
It's
careful.
okay. When you say that though, it's really like flattering and like it's bizarre to create something and have it out there. Because some artists
Yeah.
make like a painting, for instance, and you hang it up in your living room, and no one sees it. But like you're walking around with my art,
Wearable art,
and
yeah.
it's so fucking cool. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like and oh yeah,
It's good. You should be proud. It's like
Yeah.
it's not like every day, and I've never seen. I'm not just saying this because we're friends, but I mean,
Yeah.
like I've never seen people get so excited about this stuff. And when we wear it, like Tiff was saying to you earlier, we're at GABF, and these girls were hanging out and they were commenting on our chains and stuff. Like everywhere we go, someone mentions it all the time. It's a conversation piece,
that's cool.
and it's just so like even for us because. It's sort of almost take it for granted because I guess I don't know when did we connect. I guess it was clearly over a year ago.
yeah.
And we started wearing it. It's been some time, so we're used to it.
Right.
And sometimes you forget that it's new to people, and then they comment.
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, check this, bro. Like, yeah, I always make sure. Hey, hold it.
It's heavy.
Like-
It's a heavy on the
Yeah.
top. Yeah.
So like, it is very cool, and just the way people do respond to it is extremely overwhelmingly positive, and it's like almost everywhere we go, particularly at a beer related event where this type of piece stands out, and we do go
Right.
to a lot of them. There's always someone saying something.
It's funny because I'm like the little fish in the sea, but I always strive. Like I mentioned to you, like Tiffany. I'm like, I want to be the Tiffany in the craft beer jewelry world.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know, like I want to be, because it is an investment piece. I want somebody
Yeah.
to save up and love it and care for it as much as it took me to make it. You
That's
know,
cool.
and just
Yeah.
like the craft beer, like that bottle of beer might have cost you $15, but that brewer took a lot of time to make that recipe and put really unique ingredients into it to make it super special. And so that's why I want somebody to like cherish it and wear it like you guys do, which is so fulfilling. Like just to see you guys wear it is amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's only just in its infancy, I guess, technically, not
Yeah,
even
yeah,
3
it
years,
is.
right? So this is
Yeah.
just the beginning of where it can go.
Yeah.
Taylor, you're the best. Where can everyone find you online? So we're talking shit. Barncat's fucking us up.
Pennie.com. Etsy.com.
Etsy.com, and it's Pretty Pennie Jewellery on Instagram.
Yeah.
Is that the best place? I guess they can find you on Facebook.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Same thing.
Same.
And if anyone wants anything custom, they can certainly contact you. And
In
get
any
that.
of those avenues.
Fantastic.
Private message.
Either of them.
Yeah.
All of them, you're all over them. You're actually
Absolutely.
really fast. I swear. I talked to you most. I think even when you were driving here, instead of texting you, I was like DM'd you on Instagram, realizing like it probably doesn't make that much sense to contact you that way, but that was my go-to. So I feel like you're like on it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
it. Thank you so much. This is a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for the Barncat. Thanks again, Matt.
Barncat. Woo woo.
Check them out. Cambridge in the building this evening. Guys, thank you so much. If you enjoyed the episode, mate, boom, smash the thumbs up. Hit subscribe below. Hit the notification bell. What sound does that make?
Ding.
That's exactly right. So you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at BAOS Podcast and check out the long form audio where you can hear incredibly wonderful people like Hilary talk about beer and beer related things. Follow us on Spotify and rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. That's it, y'all. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.